everybody, and welcome to Bad Movie Brothers. I'm Eric.
I'm Chad.
And this week we watched the Rosebud Beach Hotel.
Woo! This one.
For the most part, quite enjoyed.
Yes. For the most part.
There's a lengthy digression in the middle that I did not especially care for, but for the most part, quite enjoyed.
Absolutely.
The Rosebud Beach Hotel is a movie that it's going to be somewhat, I don't know if it's going to be easier to talk about or more difficult to talk about, in that it has absolutely no plot.
When it first started, I wasn't sure if you had sent me to watch a movie or like a sitcom episode. Because the opening credits are a full-on, like, the Cosby Show sitcom episode opening credits.
Well, and that's my big note from this movie, is that it feels like we're watching a sitcom pilot.
Yeah, this could easily be a series.
Very easily. Well, but
with some editing.
It seems like it's like a Cinemax version of The Love Boat.
Sure.
Where you could see that this hotel, because you got the folks at home, you already know what this movie's about. It is a wacky hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. In the 1980s.
Yeah, it's a hotel on the beach, wacky staff, wacky customers. I don't know what do you call people who stay at a hotel?
What do you call yourself when you go to a hotel?
I don't know.
You're a customer? You are a customer, that's for sure.
Client? I don't know, but regardless.
Resident?
Yeah. Guest.
Guest, hey-o.
There it is.
You figured it out.
Crazy staff, crazy guests. And and you can see where, like, in a weekly basis, every week some guest would show up with some, weird problem or whatever.
Yeah, but this is one of those hotels where some of the guests are like full-time. This is where they live.
Yeah.
So that's how you get into some really weird stuff.
Right. One of those things that you see a lot in old movies and then sometimes in new movies, and then you're like, is that a thing that happens?
Yeah.
Like, it must be.
Yeah, it is.
But they have those extended stay places.
There's plenty of professional athletes that, get traded to a different team every year, and they just live in the hotel for the year.
Well, sure, but you know what I'm saying.
I get you.
Like, when we're kids and we're staying at the Holodome, I'm not thinking about people living there.
Well, there are.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, and we get to this hotel because this very pushy woman has a boyfriend. She's very pushy. Is she not?
I don't know if I would call her pushy.
Very driven.
Driven and successful.
Driven and success. Oh, she's not successful yet. Very driven woman.
Yeah.
Has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And her father owns this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And part of her drive and plan is to take her boyfriend down there, and they're going to run what appears to be a downtrodden hotel at the time.
Right.
And try to turn it around into a successful one.
Right, because he wants to prove to her dad that he's worth it.
Her dad, an evil businessman.
Played by the evil Christopher Lee.
Yes, and he holds meetings with what appears to be an accountant or lawyer.
Yeah.
While fencing him.
Very Addams Family.
Excuse me a moment, would you? Hello?
Hello, Father.
Oh, hello, Tracy. How's my little girl?
But very, like aggressive. Like, it's, like, full-on.
Yeah. My biggest note for this movie is more Christopher Lee.
Or at least more evil Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
So they go down to this hotel, and that's how we get introduced to everybody.
Right. And it's where Elliot is the guy.
Yeah.
Tracy is the gal.
Yep.
Elliot is being played by Peter Scolari, who you might remember from, like, Newhart.
Yeah.
And he is a very, like, Darren sitcom type.
Very spineless.
He's instantly in above his head.
Push him over.
He's pretty useless. And then Tracy is the one who very much bewitched Samantha style gets everything done. And
Right.
she is played by Colleen Camp, who was in one of our most viewed movies as children.
Well, hit me with them digits.
She played the maid in Clue.
Oh, okay.
What should I wear tonight?
Your camel hair coat, your yellow shirt, your natural slacks, your black socks, your burgundy shoes, and don't wear your cowboy cufflinks.
And she's terrific in this.
She is terrific in this. She did a good job.
She, very much in this movie, she is in the mold of the My Chauffeur or Made to Order lady, but like 10 years later.
Right. Right.
Getting stuff done, but also certifiably insane.
There's a lot of people in this movie that are certifiably insane, and they're also doing a great job.
Yeah, there are a lot of just real wackadoos in this movie, and that's what makes it delightful.
Right.
Because
Yeah, it's
Colleen Camp, for as together as she is, and as much as she has stuff together, has a couple of tremendous lines in this movie.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't think it's spoiling anything, because you can't, there's no way you could spoil this movie.
Right.
To say that at one point they go to meet the maintenance man for the hotel,
Kramer.
Kramer. Kramer has an underground military bunker in the hotel.
Enough firepower to blow away any damn risky paratrooper try to come through that door.
And when he's giving them a tour of the bunker, Tracy says, in a very flat delivery that I very much enjoyed,
Look, Elliot, bullets.
Yes, ma'am.
tons of wacky characters.
Including an extraterrestrial tourist.
Yes, played by the great Eddie Deason, great movie nerd Eddie Deason.
Oh, yes, I love the planet Earth. The people are so kind, so warm, so friendly. But I have to keep a careful lookout, because the evil Lord Nexus is trying to nab me and bring me back to the planet Zorax against my will. And I don't want to be beamed up until I'm ready.
And all he does is film everybody constantly.
And in a twist that I knew was coming, not because I had seen it, just because of the DNA
The tenor,
of this movie.
the tenor of the movie. Yep.
At the end of the movie, it is of course revealed that, yeah, he is an alien
He
from another
is.
planet.
He is that.
Because then we see a scene of him on the other planet wherein we find out that his home movies he's been shooting all movie are the movie.
Dorfen Diepen Schmendelhafen, Ach Seemann.
Oh, Lomas, Basik, Lord, you know, Yasha.
Who else do we see? We see the lifeguard that's super jacked up.
He shows up right after Eddie Deason, which is a great contrast to have,
Right.
you know, dweeby Eddie Deason and then this enormous dumb lifeguard.
Yep. We talked about Kramer, the maintenance man, who's clearly got PTSD of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
There are the funny boys, who are the bellhops. That's clear. That's literally what they're called in the credits. The funny boys.
I love that you also twigged to that.
But they're also called that throughout the film, like the funny boys.
and then I had to and then I for sure Googled the funny boys.
Yeah.
Barely a thing.
Yeah. Nothing.
They mentioned them in the credits like the state is in the movie or the kids
Sure.
in the hall are in the movie.
Yeah.
It's just these two guys that are
Yeah,
somehow
I'll-
known as the funny boys.
All they try to do is pick up on girls, and mostly fail.
So when the funny boys are introduced, they are just surly bellhops.
Right.
And I loved that.
Welcome to the Rosebud Beach Hotel.
This used to be our room.
Yeah, just put him anywhere. Oh, no tip.
And then when an army of female bellhops is hired later in the movie as part of the improvement plan for the hotel,
Right.
they then spend the rest of the movie trying to get dates with the lady bellhops.
Yeah. Their role totally changes from being bellhops to just being guys that walk around.
Well, and I loved the surly bellboy routine. Not crazy about what they become.
Yeah. No, wasn't great after the first 5 minutes.
And while there are a couple of good moments, like there's one where they're trying to get dates where they do this shtick where they both say that they're super rich.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How's that rare tropical disease of yours?
Oh, the doctors said, give me months, weeks, whichever comes first.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, by the way, Switzerland called.
What, again? What do those people want?
Oh, the lawyers wanted to know who you should leave your immense fortune to.
We also meet the maids of the hotel. Who are they related?
They're
Because if
twin sisters.
Okay, because I was gonna say if they're not, they're very similar looking, but it was hard to tell through the video quality.
Yeah.
On the smaller screen.
They are Sherry and Mary Curry.
And they are in a band that completely rocks. Am I wrong, or was that the best thing ever?
They were so awesome.
Yeah, I want the soundtrack of this movie just for their songs.
And I took out my phone while I was watching it to Shazam their first song. Shazam let me down.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, there's Sherry and Marie, and I'm not sure if it's Marie or Mary Curry.
Sure.
They're identical twins, and they were responsible for the song "Since You've Been Gone."
Oh.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Late after this.
Clearly.
Yeah. But yeah, when we meet them, Colleen Camp is, wandering around the hotel. Because basically Colleen Camp has every idea for improving the hotel.
Yeah, she's in charge.
And she's walking around, and she happens to pass a room that the maids are cleaning up, and they're in there singing, and she's like,
but they're singing it.
You are the hotel band.
They're singing a song that is not like what they become as a band.
Here he comes, why don't you run? Run.
So I don't understand that.
Well, I couldn't understand if it was just because, since there weren't guitars and stuff.
I guess.
But yeah, then when they get on stage in these red bedazzled outfits.
Looking great.
That I found out from the internet are repurposed from an episode of Buck Rogers.
Great. Sure.
And then they sing 4 or 5 songs in this movie. And they are awesome. The best one is Run While You Can.
Yep. Something about Romeo was a good one.
Yeah. There's a ballad called Where's the Music?
His eyes fill with tears, mommy's sleeping away. His only music is that box that won't play. Where's the music? Is it gonna last?
So, was I picking up on this, or is this just coincidental that the songs seem to fit with what was happening in the movie?
As I understand it from the internet,
Uh-huh.
Sherry and Mary were tasked with just creating the score for this movie.
When they sing Run While You Can, it's like when they first take over the hotel, and it's like, yeah, this place is so bad that you need to just get out of here, run while you can.
Or, make it something. Run.
Sure.
Run with it.
Sure.
Because Run While You Can plays for the whole early montage of the improvement of the hotel.
Right.
And does feature an excellent kick line from the new female bellhops.
Yes, and these new female bellhops are managed by the one and only Fran Drescher.
Be Still My Heart.
And this might be my favorite Fran Drescher performance of all time.
Elliot is not the person I thought he was. I thought he was Elliot. He's not Elliot. He's a jerk.
Honey, I could have told you that. All men are. Can't you look away?
It's I don't know if it's my favorite. It's very much in the mode of the characters and types she was playing then.
Sure.
Like, first off, she's gorgeous.
Yep.
Secondly, she really, like, there's a degree, I think, to which she was a Lucy for the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's very much on display. Like, she has a real solid, an effortless and mischievous charm.
Yeah.
Whenever she's on screen here.
Oh, you know what, with you know who, you know where.
What? Who? Where?
Oh, don't play so innocent, Mr. Womanizer, Mr. Two-Timer, Mr. Casanova.
She brings so much charm and also, like, wisdom to the role.
Yep.
Because she very quickly becomes, like, the character that other characters come to for advice.
Yeah. But in a great twist, she ends up falling in love with the person that the evil dad sends to burn down the hotel.
Right. What little plot there is in this movie.
That's it.
Revolves around that Christopher Lee has hired an arsonist.
Right.
Who, what does he say? His name...
His name is Matches.
His name is Matches Monahan. His business is fire for hire.
Correct.
And his tagline is, I'm the torture for your scorcher.
Yeah, there was a lot of rhyming all of a sudden that was happening.
There are moments of this script that are sublime.
Yeah.
Like, I wish this script had gotten to somebody with more money than it got to a certain extent.
You could remake this thing right now.
But at the same time, you'd lose the magic, because you need Fran.
Sure.
You need Eddie Deason.
There's people like these people.
You need Sherry and Mary. No, because I'm never going to get those awesome lady 80s power ballads.
That's right. You're not.
You're not wrong. Like, I am ready to troll record stores for the soundtrack to this movie.
It's great.
It is tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I'm not saying for sure that it's better than the soundtrack for My Chauffeur.
It is.
But it is, or Grunt, but it is in that rarefied air.
It's right there.
Oh, so good. So good. I wish that they had replaced the risque stuff with more songs.
Or more hijink sort of thing.
I would just, honestly, if this movie was largely just a concert film with some zany stuff in it, I'd be totally fine with that. Of course, toward the end, they have to do that thing where Tracy sees him trying to help a drunk girl to her hotel room, so she thinks something's going on that isn't.
Yep.
And so they try to make a little bit of hay out of that, but that only lasts for about 5 minutes.
Well, but it does lead to a great scene for Tracy with said Stud Muffin from the pool. We see Stud Muffin from the pool walk in.
Mm-hmm. Is that his legal name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Muffin /
The Funny
Stud.
Boys and Stud Muffin.
I bet I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
So he walks in and he's all leather jacketed up, looking like I don't know.
Terminator?
What's that? Yeah. Or the one comedian
Dice?
that was in the Dice. Looks like Dice.
Oh.
Hey.
That Dice isn't in this movie is shocking.
That would have been a good fit. He walks in. Tracy sees him. She's upset that her boyfriend Elliot is hooking up with some other girl, she thinks. So she goes up to the Stud Muffin and they start dancing, and the dance that she does is tremendous. You need to put that in.
Yeah, that she cannot dance at all.
At all.
But like really goes for it.
Yeah.
Is a very odd bit, especially for such a put together character.
Mm-hmm.
It's such an odd choice, but so delightful.
Right.
Which is basically anytime this movie gets something right, it is an odd choice that is delightful.
Yes.
Very much so. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Like the hard thing about talking about this movie is that since nothing happens.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot to talk about.
Nope. It's like you're watching a long cartoon that was like you mentioned earlier, like a Cinemax version of the wacky '80s movies about improvement of your life. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. It's, well, I wrote that. That's one of my notes. Is that this is just a weird cartoon of a movie. It's just when it's wacky, it's just wacky.
Right.
And I very much appreciated whenever it was wacky.
It was good.
Yeah.
The wackiness was good.
Yeah.
But anyway, we get to the point where the dad has sent the arsonist to take down the hotel because the hotel is worth $3 million, but insured for $7 million.
Yeah.
And the arsonist tries unsuccessfully a few times to, I guess, put a bomb in the hotel.
Right.
Which ends up at least killing several people.
Right.
On the outside of the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah, because he like blows up like a laundry van.
Yep.
In a pretty good car blow up.
Yeah, he knocks down a tree that hits himself.
That's right. He gets Fran Drescher to fall in love with him.
Yep. And then eventually he's successful in planting the bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And so what? Elliot and Tracy have reunited by this point.
Mm-hmm.
And they call the dad to tell him how successful they're being.
Mm-hmm.
But the dad now knows that the bomb is placed.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, well, no, you got to get everybody out of the hotel. And he's like, I'll be right there.
He does not tell them that there's an arsonist involved.
Right.
Which is probably smart in case that they've got a wire up on the hotel.
Sure.
McNulty could be on the other end of that call. Ready to roll.
Right.
And both Elliot and Tracy are just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is what he does.
Yeah. Well, let's get everybody. Oh, I guess we'll just throw a great big beach party then.
Yeah, and we'll put the band out there so that the band execs can see that, and then we'll take the hotel execs out to the beach because that's what we'll do. Whatever.
Which does give us another great musical number. In this case, a song about Superman for some reason.
Hey, it doesn't matter what it's about.
And a great big beach party, and Fran Drescher is just sitting on the stage. Performing.
Yep.
And I really admired that she was just like, I'm done.
Right, I'm done with this. I've earned what you paid me.
If you need me, I'm going to be listening to the band, but that is it.
Yeah, and so they're having the beach party, and the hotel blows up.
Well, more to the point, it implodes.
Yeah, pretty nicely.
Yeah, that was great.
Was that a real hotel imploding?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked nice.
Like a big part of this movie getting made must have revolved around that they could get a hotel that was set for demolition.
Yeah, this hotel's about to go down. Let's film a movie real quick.
Right. It is the low-budget equivalent of when the Blues Brothers drive that car around the mall that was going to get torn down anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, and Christopher Lee says something trite like, but now at least I've found two good partners.
I may have lost a hotel, but I've gained a couple of good business partners.
Yeah, hey, lady, your dad just tried to kill you. Maybe not be his business partner.
Well, and it is also missing that, like, UHF, because this movie's also quite a bit like UHF.
Absolutely.
Where it's missing that UHF ending of, let's wrap everything up for everybody. So, hey, girls, we're signing you to a record contract.
Nope.
And Fran Drescher, I don't know, you're either getting married to the cigar guy or some cosmetics executive wants you to, like, be his VP or something.
Something. Yeah.
Right. That whole, Kramer, you've been drafted.
No, it just ended abruptly.
Right. Much like the other movie we discussed this night of taping, The Escape Artist, very much this movie just reaches a point where it goes, I'm all out of movie.
Yeah, we did it.
That's it.
But unlike The Escape Artist, I don't think we're missing any movie. Like, this was just it.
Not only do I not think we were missing any movie, I think that that extra movie got put in.
Yeah, some extra stuff.
Wasn't, because it's like 80 minutes. It is not a long movie.
Right.
And there is certainly at least one very lengthy scene of padding.
Absolutely.
That I could have done completely without. I'm looking at my notes. A couple other things I wanted to mention. Eddie Deason, the man from Zorax, he has a terrific kind of one-man show sequence in the middle of the movie where he describes the most famous television show on Zorax. It is called The Three Idiots.
Oh yeah, that was great.
It's just the Three Stooges, but with extreme violence.
Glenn hits Borax in the eyes like that, and he puts it in there, and his eyeballs come out of the sockets there and stick to Glenn's fingers, and they're kind of like dangling down there like yo-yos. It's a hilarious thing. You can see it. Then there's this other thing. When Glenn gets mad at Drenenborg, he'll slap him across the face, but he does it with these iron gloves, and he'll hit him, and the flesh will rip right off their face, and the scene went with the flesh dangling off the side of the face like that in the wind. Then there's this other guy.
And that seemed to be clearly like he made that up. There was no way they wrote that.
No, well, yeah, probably not.
They wrote the premise and he just went off.
Yeah, in the script it just says Eddie Deason
Three Idiots.
talks about violent Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Crew takes lunch.
Yeah. Probably.
The crew, which was, I don't know, 5 guys.
Maybe.
Yeah. I wish that they had done more with it. There's a very brief runner of Colleen Camp in her very dry delivery telling the funny boys, "You're funny."
Yeah, you're funny.
You're funny. You guys are funny.
I would have liked that. I think it only happens like twice. I would have liked it about 100 times.
Yeah, like if she walked right by him every time they were doing anything and just be like, "Oh, you guys are funny."
And yeah, like I would love to say more about this movie.
How about we say top 10 on the list?
Oh, it's in the top 10.
Sure.
It's in our top 10 for sure. It is very much in the spirit of the movies we have liked quite a bit. It is a movie with strong female characters. It is very 80s and has a great sort of punk rock, 80s rock sensibility to it.
Right.
Those seem to be the movies we are gravitating to the most.
Well, hey, you can't blame it.
No. Is it? You see, I don't think it's quite top 5.
No.
If it affected the changes we discussed, if it had got rid of some of the more prurient stuff, I think that it could have really gotten there.
Yep, I agree.
But as is, I would be inclined to put it right outside the top 5 at number 6. Put it in between How I Got Into College at number 5 and Cohen and Tate, the current number 6.
I agree.
All right.
I'm in agreement.
Happening right now on the show. Oh,
all right.
I almost put
Look
it
at
in
that.
place.
Gosh.
Hush. Hush.
Hush, little baby. Okay, continue.
But yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, great. Good. Worth watching. It's on the YouTube.
This one's on the YouTube. This one I would say watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe be ready to scrub a little bit.
Don't watch with children.
Right. What are you doing?
I'm just hanging out, man.
Are you sitting on an exercise ball or something?
I'm on the bed. Sitting on a bed.
How apropos.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll be back next time with another Bad Movie Brothers.
Bye-bye.